Uh, Hi everyone. Today we have informal lecture uh, for writers and screenwriters. I prepared material, original material uh, for increase your skills. So main course, working on the form. Today we have informal meeting. Lecture number 4, Origins for writers and screenwriters. Not God, but man makes pot and pen. So we can start. Our goals. We must understand why people have a passion to listen made up stories. So every day we want to see or to read something new. And first our task. We must recognize how people transfer, not only people and animals transfer of skills without books, without speech. How impart knowledge if you cannot record it. Look, you don't have a computer, a book, a sheet of paper, a pencil. You don't even know the letters. So, and what if you don't even know the words, but you need to transfer your experience to the next generation? Learn under animals. What are our small brothers and sisters to do for they transfer experience from adult to young generations? Example: hunt, play, communication. So remember how the mother transfers skills to her child, literally demonstrating what to do. Animals teach their children by their own example to procure food, hide, understand gestures and audible signals. It would be harder for them to survive without this knowledge. Of course, exist highly simple organisms, but we don't see, we don't talk about them. We talk only about dogs, cats, and wolves, and bears, and other clever animals. Some animals can transmit skills of behavior in a pack and experience of concerted action. Knowledge of hunting is flowed down from adults to the younger. For many species, nothing is more important than hunting skills. It's vital for them. So, how do animals learn? Information transfer between animals, including interspecific one. Body language, ears, jaws, back and tail, sounds, whining, growling, yelping, touch or stroke, punching with paw, biting, and smell. Animals cannot transmit accurate information or give accurate description, but they can show example. They can point a location, then can give a simple order to a congener. Do as I do. The more knowledge about world you have, the better your chances for survival and reproduction. They cannot to say, but they can to show. Look at humans. What about us? If we have hunger, so we must have supplies. If we now watch somewhere begin show, we must take tickets. So information, rich man, wedding, yeah. There's huge amount deficit, business, so new opportunity for make money. How to get information? A simple way, yeah. They say where to go and what to do. The comprehensive way explain the details if necessary. They draw pictures and plans, and via use objects. With help of speech, people can input information accurately, describing from memory certain marks and details. In addition, a human is able to improve communication by drawing and using objects. Communicate. Before writing. In order to have a full life in a community, a person must possess information, which means what a human must communicate. We can explain in detail. Our main difference from manuals. If at the current moment we are exclude writing and we talk about only our transfer our experience by gesture or by talking. Speech. We invented script, typography, and computer. All these inventions help us transfer our experience. How transfer skills without practice? Look, animals can transfer their skills only with practice, but human can transfer their skills without practice. If you get soaked in a stream, take off your clothes, rinse it and dry up in the best possible way. Do not wear wet clothes. If you get hot, pick a plantain and put it over the wound. If you are going to spend a lot of time in the forest, take more salt with you. So this is simple examples, but they help you save your life. Imagine. So people can imagine. Maybe part of monkey can imagine. I don't know exactly. We can visualize something which is not present at the moment, and even something which has never happened. We can imagine. Imagination, main part, main skill for prepare himself for yourself for some difficult moment in your life. Without a current experience, only imagination. Due to speech an innate ability to switch on imagination, we can transfer knowledge from generation to generation, thereby without losing the valuable experience which we need for survival and development. So, now more close to our theme, Lullaby. What four adults sing songs to us at bedtime? Why do we listen to them? We were born. Look. 2 months. No sleep. Into arms. Melodic sound. Watch do sofas. Security, gentle treatment, warm, low light, melody. We remember the state of comfort. Soft speech. If you cannot move your legs and arms, what you have? What opportunity? Only listen and recognize your circumstances. Mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, or whoever comes, take you in arms, lose you. Each breaks this vicious cycle by the fact that the person who cares about you begins to sing something quietly. But you cannot to catch this smooth sound because you cry more louder. You have to close your mouth for a while at least. Due to innate instinct and curiosity, we are even ready to stop sobbing in order to obtain a portion of new information. We shut, we are soothed. When somebody close to us, it means we are in safety. It's scared to live without human voices. While you lay in your small bed. Look at the animals. Chicken, rabbit, fowl, and baby. Animals appear entry in their lives ready for action. We are spent 2-3 years only for prepare, pick up some food before we are absolutely forceless. How not to get lost? We are social beings by nature, and we are ready to communicate since birth. Loud voice, anxiety, diaper is going to be changed. Quiet voice, care, we are going to be sad. Rustling and rasping somewhere out there, unclearly, curiously, and suspiciously. It's necessary to voice. We act consciously from infancy to receive the necessary response from the external environment in the future. You whine, you will get food. You scream, mom will change swaddling clothes. You whimper sadly, dad will wave a trinket before you, in front of you. We must scream, we cannot be left alone. Recognition and perception. play, feeding, I'm not sure, hygiene, excuse me, put you to a cot. How do you guess? Lying on your back and unable to get up and look around, you have to think up what is going on. Easy steps, maybe mom is coming. Heavy steps, probably dead. Whispering, it seems like grandma and grandpa are talking to each other. Mewing, apparently a cat is going to jump into my bed right now. Listen. Thanks to the sounds and voices that surround us, we begin to develop imagination, along with understanding of the bad and good around us. Imagination, we try to forecast already. We can't walk, but we have imagination. The lullaby is our first acquaintance with the culture of the environment in which we were born. We hear more than words, we hear poetry, we hear the specific melodies and hear tuneful and calming voices of our parents. So, we remember state of comfort, security, gentle treatment, warm, dim light, melody. Bedtime stories. Next level after Lullaby. We remember soft speech, comfort. Adults used a trick or use a trick. It seemed to them what if they tell an interesting story, the child will calm down and fall asleep more quickly. So it's true, but a lot of stories had to be invented. The child wants a new fairy tale every evening. So parents are forced to imagine something new every night, every evening. He or she remembers yesterday's tale. So, of course, you can tell with your child some story 2-3 times, but then you need something new. Everybody loves fairy tales. Here we see examples. Different fairy tales. How to relax. Comfortable, important, comfortable bed, dimmed light, calm speech. Again, when we talked about lullaby, return all these conditions. Fascinating beginning, interesting story, happy end. A positive emotion. Play and dream. How to relax. An interesting story develops your imagination, brings you in a quiescent state, and you find yourself in a dream world. So, already in our childhood, we ready, get new stories all our life. So, if you create something new, usually your view, your new pitch find readers, find viewers. Of course, here we have element of competition, but such moments we have in any branch of human activity. Dive in a dream world. Yeah, parents are the first manual to the world. They explain us who is blacksmith, what means spear, what means hammer, what means anvil. When we listen stories, we get new information. What is the use of fairy tales? Simple story, setting of a problem, searching for solution, finding the answer, joy and happiness in the end. So everywhere, every time we listen what for get success, we must move. And we remember this fact. This is our life. Vocabulary, names, people, animals, objects, crafts, possible actions, characters, scenes, features. Learning the world. Memorizing the stories and learning the meaning of the new words, the child develops and prepares for life in the adult world. So new information. Unnoticed training and development. Highly useful form when you get new skills, new experience without recognition. So process of teaching, of study going on, but you don't recognize about it. Spiritual what? Spiritual food. Spiritual food. Alive and well. Love each other. New life. Happiness. So here emotions. Feelings. Do you want more stories? I like anticipation of the beginning of news history, sense of immersion, to be emotionally involved in characters' fates, waiting for a communication on the next day, enjoyment in the solution found, and the nice happy ending. Do you want more stories? Learn letters. Learn to read. Because your parents have not time tell you bedtime stories every day. From one moment they give you a book and you begin read something. Learn to read. The ability to dream and imagine encourages development and achievement of new opportunities for deriving intellectual pleasure. Spiritual food, intellectual pleasure. So creative people like collective farmer, like a peasant who work every day and for creation something new. We are creating spiritual food. every day about 2 hours typical man spent in front of computer or TV. And people want something new. Tell or read kind fairy tales to children. More kind, more well people we will get. Campfire stories. Next level. After Lullaby, after bedtime stories, campfire stories. Here already for adult people, maybe from teenager and adult people. Adults also like to chat, especially in the evening with a dim light of the fire in silence. Do you recognize the same conditions in the other childhood when relatives will sing lullabies or read fairy tales for you? Telling stories you develop speech. Attention on the situation, respect, acknowledgement. All attention is drawn to you. You own the situation. Only you are responsible for what happens next in the heads of listeners. If the story is interesting, if you do not stammer and competently speak, then you already get respect. And if you can finish it beautifully, you will get acknowledgement. How to develop speech, how not be afraid to tell. Read books, note the imagination, pauses and manners of the narrator you like. Do not be shy, tell your stories occasionally. Be on the stage and write books. You must have a practice for your mind. Look, I highly recommend you, if you have some difficult moment for you, you sense shy, you cannot move, for example, you cannot stand in front of big audience. Forget about your fear. Just do it. Practice. Use all opportunities when you can improve your skills. In every art, in every business, if you haven't experience, of course, you will get mistakes, but this difficult problem don't stop you. Telling stories to others, we become smarter, more confident, learn to formulate our thoughts, learn to explain. Why do people listen to narrative? Why? Not reality, something new, another world. People, your imagination work. People, is it people? Maybe not people. Maybe wizards. What is the use of storytelling? Gaining experience, learning reaction of other people in different situations, zombie apocalypse, yeah? Projection on yourself entertainment, and psychological relaxation. Listening to stories, we get information which can be useful in the future. That's why we already prepared for getting something new and alternative experience. Striving for knowledge is a part of self-preservation instinct. Information, experience, entertainment. Why do people listen to narrators? Good ambience is the key to success. Noise, bright light, fuss, disturbance. What's about a dull environment? No noise, no bright light, and more. In order for the imagination to work as effectively as possible, the brain should not be distracted by extraneous factors. That's why when lessons are going to school, so teacher search what pupils don't disturb each other with loud speech and maybe some noise. Tranquility. The most comfortable conditions involve silence, dimmed light, and being in a state of rest. Silence and rest. Stories in a company are one of the first forms of intellectual competition. Always it will be men who have something to say. Next part. Gossips and surmises. Here, in addition to fairy tales and stories, people share different rumors with each other, and sometimes you can gossip. And sometimes you can even lie. Barter information between narrator and listener. In the street, at the fair, at the crossroads, in the cafe. So people communicate. Benefits of narrator. Attention, respect, admiration, growing magnitude, demonstration or interception of leadership, opportunity to speak out. Important for part of humankind, opportunity to speak out. Attraction, attention, carrier of information increases own volume in the society. Because she knows something new, and this news can help you do your life better. Social elevator. Remember about people who dive into politics. Benefits of listener: information, entertainment, of course, and communication. Possibility of tuning into narrator. You speak, I speak. Yeah. Narrator attention, listener information. Useful of fables. And here different moment. Look, when you live in a remote village and not in a city, in a place where nothing has happened, how can you learn something valuable, something interesting for everybody, something what you can use for listeners, surprise and impress them? After all, everyone knows the same thing. The social cycle is small and news spread quickly. If a traveler does not stroll into the village, then there will be no news. Like a small child, an adult is always ready to listen to a new interesting story. And it does not matter what it was invented from beginning to the end. And if the story had a success, you might demand a continuation with the same characters. Useful of fables. Listeners, they can rest from temporal affairs and dive in another world. Storyteller, he enjoys the effect he had on the listeners. Community, getting together, people get to know each other better. There takes place a process of establishing interpersonal relationships. Discuss and conclusions. What is the public interest of listening stories? Here are some points. I read only conclusion. Invented stories are interesting not only to listen, but also to internalize, discuss, draw conclusions. Tales are the engine of progress. History, that history which told 10 times, 100 times, so little boy kisses little girl. After 10 times repeat, and already teenagers make their love, then adults make their love, and we can see what she don't like him. And then, after one history is told 1,000 times, we have next. Yeah? Yeah. Own benefit. To create something, you need to draw up a plan and make a schedule of actions. But before writing it down, you should talk about it inside your head. You shall have to chat with yourself. Telling people something, you try to make it clear to them. What is phrases should be accurate, meaningful, and harmonious. Relying on the things described earlier and realizing what you forgot something, you make interest and transition what will support the story. You invent and switch on the imagination. clarity of mind. What is the use of such seemingly unnecessary chatters? Thanks to chatterboxes, we are not bored. The one who talks sometimes says something important. Sometimes. An educated talker develops himself and others. For example, I'm at the current moment, I talk with you in English, for me this foreign language, and I of course increase my skills in this branch. Talented people are always full of thoughts. I ready talk with you always. Seven, you learn to build thoughts. Only in this case you can transfer your skill, your experience without mistakes, when you can talk or write clearly. Look, if we didn't want to share information, our society would never have developed. The knowledge gained by one generation would go away with it. And such process continued 5 centuries ago. We don't save more part of our experience. Only small part information transfer from one generation to another generation. 10 centuries ago, we lose, I think, about 90%. Something, of course, fixed on with writing, but only a small part of humankind have this skill to write. And main part, born of culture. What is a culture? How to understand what a person belongs to one or another culture. A culture itself, not a race, nation, or residence. For example, if I live in Kenya, for example, in Africa, country of Africa, and I watch TV in English and I read English books and I read English newspaper, English sites, so who am I? Maybe I have passport, Kenyan man, but inside I'm maybe not completely, because I haven't circumstances, but I have many information about English society, for example. Look isolation of groups and language development. Localization, differences, development 1, development 2. So isolation here not only geography, but human tribes make their choice sometimes not without effectiveness. Sometimes they think about maybe some current profit, but not look at the future power of language. So the more information you get, the more development you have. Language develops communication within a group, but it isolates a community in a certain territory. Communication with representatives of other lands is more difficult. Language prevents free import of information. Now I'm jumping from my language from Russian language to English language into my head. Language develops a group from within. Language plus customs plus another things around equal culture. Look. Words, letters, beliefs, parade. So, what is a culture? Language, written language, beliefs, customs, system of values, and more. Class, crafts, dwelling, social system. Common knowledge and values include in some territory. Ways of interacting, social behavior, customs, rituals, holidays, along with housing, utensils, and clothing become similar or identical within one race. A separate cultural area appears. So, culture is an area of common knowledge and values. When we arrive in another culture, we try to take typical form of behavior or class, and we for sense self-comfort we use class such class where people on this territory, this country. Of course, your face you can change, but you can change class from far distance. On a distance, you already local man. Competition of cultures. Here, important thing: to dream, to invent on your language, to plan on your language, to create. Competition of cultures. Look, development of the imagination of a person under 20. Fairy tales, poems, songs, music, drawing, dancing, sports, and more and more and more. Creative mind wins. And development of the imagination of a person after 20 years. And here we have next points. You can press pause for read this text. A leader is the one who creates anew. Sometimes our main persons don't understand such simple things. But only great brains develop our society, our countries, our civilization. Big brains with big IQ. The embodiment of knowledge in a material form that gives advantages in science, economics, or people's well-being. The success of society begins with a competition of creative minds. If you can concentrate in your area big part of clever people, they will compete with each other and create something interesting and something useful. Conclusion of the lecture. From birth, we are in captivity of fairy tales and fantastic stories. They soothe, entertain, teach, and instruct us. We remember positive emotions, and after years we continue to love fiction stories. That's why, if you writer, if you editor, and make cinema, if you painter, don't fear, you always find your readers and viewers. We, from our childhood, ready to take new information and including some fiction information, fiction stories. We get cartoon. Why 7? Because we have 6 parts here and 7 their conclusion. Thank you. Good luck and goodbye.